Hey, y'all like this mellow lighting? I kind of like it. Um, so, distrust in the media is hardly a hot topic. It's almost just a truism. It's almost just a cliche. It's almost like, yeah, I mean, nobody trusts the media. So, what else is new? One of those kinds of things. Like, what? People don't trust the media? You're kidding me. You know? And so, it almost runs the risk of seeming like too bland of a headline. I don't know how I'm going to title this video, but I'm going to try to find some way to title it that doesn't just make people's eyes kind of glaze over, because again, we're used to distrusting the media, but there's distrust and there's distrust, and things are, according to a Gallup poll, things are at a record low now. The print media, according to this new Gallup poll, is trusted uh, only by 16%. 16% of those polled, which I take it to be a representative sample. 16% of those either expressed a great deal of trust or more trust than distrust uh, of the print media. 16%. Television media was even worse. 11%. 11% trusted the television media. That means, well, you don't need me to do your math work for you, do you? But I'll just remind you that that means that 89% of those polled did not trust the television media. That's 9 out of 10 people uh, didn't believe that what they were watching on TV when the news came on was trustworthy. Um, the poll shows also that Republicans and independents have a significantly lower trust in the media than the Democrats do. Although the Democrats also don't trust it very much, but their distrust is quite a bit more than independents and Republicans, which is not really surprising either. Um, Although it is notable that even for the Democrats, the numbers are down. Um, I mean, the media is basically repeating all of their talking points, and they still don't trust it. I don't know what that says. You'd think that they would be more appreciative than that, but I guess not. Um, so this is an all time low, uh, again according to Gallup, and I just wanted to say a couple things about why I think this might be the case. Just speaking personally, I mean, my my trust in the media has uh, has significantly declined over the past 6 or 7 years, and every year I would say it's gotten lower and lower. Maybe, although I think if you'd asked me in 2017 how much I distrusted the media, I think I would probably say zero, that I had 0% trust in them then. So I don't know if you can get lower than zero, but maybe I was lying to myself. Maybe I still had some trust in them in certain things, but I didn't. I think in 2017, by that time, I knew that they were. Uh, they, I knew that they were lying and covering up stories like Pgate, which I won't say. Uh, P, not P as in urine, but P dot a gate, uh, or pedo gate. And I knew they were covering that up. Uh, they were obviously not telling the truth in very very many ways. They obviously had a candidate that they wanted to get elected, and did their best to try to get her elected, and when she didn't get elected, they obviously freaked out and went to the nuclear option, um, which is why they became ever more untrustworthy after that. But all that stuff aside, all the stuff, and I'm not saying, I'm not meaning to downplay any of that. All of that is important and significant, um, and, and so forth, and all of the everything that's come out about Operation Mockingbird. This is getting a little bit more uh, like esoteric, or not esoteric, but a little bit less. There's a little bit less common knowledge about something like that. When you say Operation Mockingbird, the typical normie is not going to know what you're talking about. But somebody in the CIA, I think somebody who was the head of the CIA, was once quoted as saying, "Once everyone," and I'm paraphrasing here, but once everyone in the country is misinformed, then we'll know we've done our job. It's just the most awful quote, the most ridiculous quote that I don't want to believe that it's true. And somebody below, if you know the actual quote, was it Casey who said it, or somebody else who was alleged to have said it? And I know probably the fact checkers will come along and say, "Well, actually, this was never said." But I mean, the, the fact checkers are just another aspect of why the media is not to be trusted. That they come along and just tell you the proper way to think about something, the proper way to view this issue or that issue, and they aren't really presenting. They aren't really checking facts. They're doing nothing of the kind. But I think that um, if my trust in the media was zero up up through March of 2020, that everything post March of 2020 has made my trust plummet to -50. Um, just because I don't think and you don't have to have that intricate of a conception of things uh, to see what's going on, right? Um, all that you have to know is that there is a certain extremely powerful lobbying group, extremely powerful, extremely wealthy lobbying group that is basically in control of all of the major media outlets, and that lobbying group uh, has consistently stood in the way of the truth coming out. That has been the case for the past 2.5 years, and it continues to be the case even now. You don't hear the kind of horror stories uh, concerning the Baj, people who have taken it. And again, the Baj is my secret coded language, because you can't be too explicit here on YouTube, which is censorship central. But just rearrange the letters, put them back, spell them backwards, and you know what I'm talking about. So there have been people who have had horrific experiences since taking the Baj, and they are never heard from. You never hear about them in the news media. They don't talk about them. And the news media played a huge role in pressuring people to get this thing done to themselves, uh, without letting the truth come out. In fact, anytime somebody spoke the truth spoke about an aspect of the truth concerning the Baj, that they didn't want to get out there, the Baj or anything else, the other types of medicine, the supposed uh, the supposed lethality rate of the supposed virus itself, all of that stuff. There've been so many things on so many different levels. The pharmaceutical industry uh, is steering the ship. No, they're probably people who are above them. Uh, I'm not saying that they are ultimately the big cheese themselves, but they are a very powerful group, and they're probably there's people who are controlling them who are probably above them. I don't know where the top of the capstone is. Uh, um, I mean, I don't claim to know, but we do know that this particular industry has so much control over the news media that they will basically ignore the fact that people are suffering and and dying if it doesn't suit the kind of message that they want to promote, and they'll try to make it sound as if people who say otherwise are just bad people, are just troublemakers, you know, misinformation. There's so much misinformation. There's the kind of censorship. Again, I've spoken about this before, but this was something I didn't see coming. I honestly didn't. I thought there are various ways in which censorship, in which tyranny, in which suppression of truth can be supposedly justified. In the name of health, in the name of safety, in the name of stopping terrorism. Uh, there are all kinds of standby excuses. I didn't see I didn't see them flogging this misinformation. How anything that goes against what they want to tell people is misinformation. I did not see that coming. Um, and that's basically what it's been all about these last couple of years, since March of 2020. Um, and you're going to tell me there's no relationship between that and this nosedive in people trusting the media? Um, I would respectfully or disrespectfully, because if you're saying that, I don't think you're worthy of respect. I would simply say, you know, that's just false. That's just wrong. Um, you know, it's when you force a lie upon people, almost at knife point, when you force people to do things to themselves at the risk of their livelihood, when you uh, when you cause people to do things to themselves, under coercion, that in turn makes them sick or makes them die, um, or just doesn't protect them in the way that you say it's going to protect them. You're going to see some blowback on that. No, you're not going to. People are just like in Soviet Russia. People aren't allowed to express their how they really feel, for fear of getting ostracized, for fear of becoming non-persons. For in Soviet Russia, it was the knock at the door at 2 a.m. and that's not happening here in the United States most of the time. Anyway, I'm sure it still happens on some occasions. But generally speaking, that's not the weapon that they use against us. The weapon that they use against us is to decimate our social credit. To say that to prevent us uh, from livelihood, to prevent us from enjoy, to cause our reputation to take hit after hit after hit, to tell lie after lie after lie about us. Um, I mean, speaking as someone, not 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 playing the victim here, but speaking as someone who has made a couple of lists myself of the 20 worst people in the universe, which I wear as a badge of honor. By the way, I'm happy to be one of the ADL's bad guys. I'm happy to be one of the SPLC's bad guys. That's cool with me. If I'm not doing that, then I'm not doing my job, as far as I'm concerned. But it does come with a cost, obviously, as I've spoken of before, also. But anyway, it's going to come out one way or other. And when you have such abysmally low, uh, frankly, I think those are still too high. The fact that 11% of people believe what they tell them on the television news, 16% believe what's in the newspapers. Um, when these entities are owned and controlled, uh, and have no interest in truth whatsoever, only have interest in promoting what their owners and controllers want to, the message that they want to get out there. I mean, in a way, it's kind of depressing that 11% of people still believe the television news and 16% of the people still believe the uh, the print media. but but still, those are, just speaking realistically, those are still some really really low numbers. So I think I've just sought to explain why they've dipped so incredibly low. And I think it's basically the circumstances that we are in right now, uh, and how they've been exposed. It wasn't so clear, back in 2013. We basically knew that the entire media was run by five, mega conglomerates. That was known, but it wasn't. It was still, you couldn't quite you couldn't quite connect the dots quite as easily as you can today, when you know that story X will not make it into the newspaper, will not make it onto television news, because story X doesn't help to promote the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, you're going to pay the price. The more obvious you make your mendacity. Hence the historically low percentage of trust in the media. All right, so those are just my thoughts on this subject. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.